Also, it's like if you try to get into thinking about the Kirby universe or whatever, there's also references to the Kirby star system and in the Star Fox animated like bit of anime that they did a while back. Nintendo did for I think around the Wii U. There's also Samus is in Dreamland 3 with the
That's
Metroids.
true.
So
Yeah.
so then it's like, is he part of the Star Fox universe? Is he part of the Metro? Are these games all in the same universe? Or then it gets sort of cuckoo bananas, like all the ideas you can have.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Kirby Conversations. I'm Sean Douglas. I'm a writer, podcaster, and teacher. And we are back again with Bridget. Hi, Bridget.
Hi, my name's Bridget. I'm a longtime fan, commentator, fan artist, and Kirby collector. I'm happy to be back.
And we're here with Gigi. Hi, Gigi.
Hi, I'm Gigi. I'm the editor-in-chief of Kirby. I'm a big Kirby fan from Brazil, and I translate some Kirby content from Japanese to English.
Yeah, if you've come across a random interview that took place in Japanese that has found its way into an English translation, it very well might have been Gigi who translated that. I know Gigi's content has taught me about a lot of things that didn't get a lot of mainstream translation. So that's really cool that you do that. Kirby
Thank you.
Conversations is also a part of the Soundstone podcast network, along with Flashback 64, Pixels and Polygons, and Instruction Derby. You can find links to all those shows in our show notes. Now, for this is a sort of bonus episode, I guess, outside of our usual monthly schedule. But we had a bunch of listener questions that we wanted to cover, and we thought that could be the perfect subject for a bonus episode. A bunch of people submitted questions to us. So we get questions from various places. We get questions from people in person. We were at a convention recently that people submitted questions to. We also get questions submitted to us online. These are a bunch of questions that were submitted in person. And I'm sorry that it has taken a bit of time to get to some of them, but I definitely wanted to make sure we got to all the things that people submitted. And along with these submissions, we also got a bunch of submissions from our last in-person appearance at the Midwest Gaming Classic. We got a bunch of questions that I thought weren't necessarily the best fit to answer on a in a live podcast discussion. A lot of children had questions just about who Kirby is, why is he so hungry, why is he pink, questions like that, which are great questions, but I thought maybe those would be better to answer in a sort of collective, maybe paragraph or two describing who is Kirby in a sort of introductory way. So I'll have a paragraph like that or two in the show notes for this episode summarizing who Kirby is, just to make sure, I want to make sure we address all the questions that people had, but rather than covering maybe more sort of more introductory things about Kirby on the show, I'll just put those in the show notes. But thank you to everyone who submitted questions. There were a few others that we told people they could ask anything. So we got questions like this one from Lily M that just said, "Who is your biggest enemy?" And I'm not sure that I have any biggest enemies. I don't know, Bridget or Gigi. I don't know if off the top of your head you have sworn adversaries.
um,
But maybe I'll
I
just
have
say, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
maybe a destined rival. It's like King Dedede.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would just say there's a lot of injustice in the world, and it would be
Yeah.
nice if there was more equality and various kinds of systemic oppression that exist in the world. It would be. I think it's good for all of us to do what we can to work against that, because there's a lot of that out in the world. I think, especially as a teacher, I see that through a lot of different students' lives and certain inequalities that exist there. So I guess if you are trying to make a more unjust world, maybe you are our enemy in some way. But I also like to think that people could come together and solve those problems in hopefully more communal ways. But thank you for the question all the same. Certainly something to think about. But for more Kirby related questions, we have a great stack here on some post-it notes. Thank you again to all the people who submitted. And we'll get started now. So I'm going to start with this one. And it is from Sarah W. Thank you for the question, Sarah. It says, who is your favorite Kirby final boss? What's cool about the gameplay, build up, vibes, etc.? So, Bridget or Gigi, who are your favorite, or who is your favorite Kirby final boss?
Oh, that's such a difficult question. I feel like it's hard for me to choose one. I feel like I like several bosses, and I feel like with the Kirby series, the bosses really like they sort of stack like layers on cake where they're sort of often referencing each other or building off of previous bosses and constantly kind of becoming like just like a bigger part of the series identity where it's like I guess I'll go with like the original OG like one that I really appreciate that kind of started kind of how later bosses would be like, but I really like Nightmare and King DDD at the end of Kirby's Adventure. That whole unexpected turn of events at the end and finding out that DDD was more of an ally than he was in the previous game and had changed. And then the surprising and kind of scary for the time boss showing up at the end just kind of really is a big part of the Kirby series identity, I feel. It's really iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's a bit hard as well because I think Kirby has a lot of good final bosses. But usually, what at least my favorite overall, like for everything, is Queen Sectonia from Triple Deluxe because I feel like the whole fight and build up and even like the music, the visuals, I think it just works really nice and I like all the phases and I also like how she's integrating the story and later you learn more. It's kind of for me like the Kirby modern final boss. Like I know that we have like those kind of vibes in the modern Kirby games, but I feel like I think Megler is also like that, but Sectonia is also. I feel like she embodies a lot of like the storytelling of the Kirby, the modern Kirby games. You know, I don't know how to explain. I just love that fight. I remember the first time, and I feel like every time I replay Triple Deluxe, it's. I just feel like it's like incredible from start to finish. I also like what happens before with DDD and Taranza, and also the ending, and I just think it's beautiful really. It's I also like the gameplay as well because I think some Kirby final bosses sometimes they are just like a lot of shooting sections and I don't mind it, but I feel like I prefer the regular Kirby gameplay, so I feel Sectonia has that more like the bigger emphasis on that, so even though it has a couple parts that are more like scripted or something like that, even that feels like really impactful for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can think of a lot of Kirby final bosses that I could list for this that I really like. But my favorite is 02 from Kirby 64. Just overall, I like Kirby 64 a lot. It's one of my favorite Kirby games. I think especially when it comes to vibes, this question asked about vibes, and I really like the vibes in that game. And I think the character design is really interesting. It's such a contrast, I think, to so many other things in that game to have this more grotesque final creature. And there are a lot of various grotesque final creatures in Kirby games, but I think his design just really stands out to me. And his theme song is my favorite Kirby song, and this leads into the next question that we'll be doing. But the 02 battle music is my favorite Kirby song, so I think that's a big part of it too. Is that it's just the boss that has my favorite Kirby song with it as well. So I just really like the design. I like the sort of creepy, surreal aspect of that battle too. I think it's just a very surprising, striking character design with a great soundtrack to it. So I would go with 02. I will say a memorable recent boss experience is fighting the three mage sisters when you had to do that on the original Switch, and it felt like you could see the steam like billowing out of your Switch while it was trying to make all the things that were happening on screen happen at once. I thought that was a neat. It was kind of a remix of previous bosses, but a fun way to make that feel new again. And it felt really dramatic to have this thing that seemed like it was like so much was going on. The system itself had trouble even powering that battle to some degree. Not in a way that really hurt the experience, I would say, but it is kind of funny when you start noticing the frame rate chug along because there's just so much on screen coming at you at once. All right. So maybe just to segue into the next question, because I've already kind of answered it, but Aurora asks, who are your favorite HAL composers and what is your favorite track of theirs? I think Jun Ishikawa is going to be my pick for this one. Obviously, there are a lot of great Kirby composers who are all creating wonderful music, and I could list a lot of songs here, but the Zero Two Battle just happens to be my favorite Kirby song, and it's a Jun Ishikawa song. And he's also just responsible for so many of those original classic Kirby songs, like the King Dedede theme, and a lot of those original melodies. So I'll pick him.
I am going to pick Jun Ishikawa as well. Although I'm also going to throw in hopefully I don't mispronounce this, Hirokazu Ando, who's also credited in the Kirby's adventure music and some of Dreamland, I believe. Basically, like the music in Kirby's Dreamland just exists with me until the end of time. Like Kirby's Dreamland was my first game. It's a Game Boy game. It's such a simple sound compared to how progressive, like recording for games has gotten in so many years later. For what we have now, especially when you compare it to like Air Riders or something. But like that simple old music, kind of like with the old Mario music, it just always stays with me forever, you know? It's so iconic. It's those like melodies that in their simplicity and in their need to be repeated on these old sound, like on this old hardware, had to have something about it that really stuck to you. And like to me, like the old Green Greens, the old Peanut Plains, Milky Way Wishes versus Meta Knight, just and all the music in Dreamland. Castle Lololo, like I love all that stuff. And I know people get tired of hearing like Green Greens or whatever, but I think I'll probably never tire of like just the Kirby music I grew up with.
I think it says something too about the series that for some video game series, people really want new soundtracks with every installment. And I feel like with the Kirby series, people kind of want the same songs over and over and over again. Like they'll be kind of disappointed if they don't get to hear a new version of the King Dedede theme, or disappointed if they don't get to hear a new version of Green Greens. Like it says something about those songs that they have endured and that people want to hear them over and over and over again from game to game to game.
Yeah. I think they do a good job of like reinventing sometimes the way they sound, or like the gourmet race that's in Air Riders right now is so good.
Yeah.
So, you know, what can I say? I'll hear it again.
I'm gonna be boring and also pick Jun Ishikawa because honestly, I like all the composers. I think right now, especially, they have hired a bunch of new composers. Like, even after Forgotten Land, they have a bunch of new people. Unfortunately, Jun Ishikawa left HAL Laboratory, I think, 2 years ago, but he still made music for Star Crosswords, so I think he's probably still around. But they're clearly like hiring new people for maybe a new generation of composers. But anyway, to go back to Jun Ishikawa, I just really like his style in general. I think it for me is also a bit because my first Kirby games were Squeak Squad and Superstar Ultra, and Squeak Squad, we don't know exactly who made the songs, but a couple of songs we know were made by Ishikawa, and again, Superstar Ultra is Superstar, and again, he's also responsible for most, if not all, music from Superstar, which are all pretty iconic, like Gourmet Race, Peanut Plains, Candy Mountain, Mark's team, West Meta Knight, and all that. And I think what's cool about Kirby is also that they had all these composers for so long, and they still managed to like keep their style and like use the new technology. And like Jun Ishikawa makes like the more recent music he has made, which goes to my favorite song, but I'm gonna mention that in a bit. I think like you can still like you listen to like a Kirby song from Superstar, and then you listen like from a Ishikawa song from like Forgotten Land, and you can see like he still got the same style. But it's just more modern. Like maybe now he's using more different instruments or something. But my favorite music from Kirby is Welcome Your New Overlord from Return to Dreamland, which is the final boss theme from Magler, the first phase. I think that music is just really chaotic, and I think that embodies a lot of what I like from Jun Ishikawa's compositions. It's funny because like Hirokazu Endo, especially lately, if you listen maybe to a song that has a lot of piano, it's probably Endo because he likes using piano recently, and he tends to like make more complex melodies. Like he made pretty much every single music from Kirby's Adventure. So if you compare like Kirby's Adventure music with Kirby's Dreamland, which was just Ishikawa, you can tell like the Dreamland's a bit more on the simple side, but that's not a bad thing. And I think Ishikawa likes using more electronic and like synths and stuff in the modern like music. And Endo is more like acoustic, uses more piano and maybe some other instruments. And I think that's interesting that they all have their style. I could go on forever. I love like researching Kirby music and the composers and their styles. And I just, but yeah, I have to go with Ishikawa. I think he's just like a real original, like the original guy who made the Green Green's Castle Lolo and King Didi's team and like the ending team from Dreamland and Deadman Superstar, Kirby 64, maybe a couple like Squeak Squad, and then just continue like a lot of the recent games as well. It's pretty iconic, and yeah,
Mhm.
again, I just really like his style.
Mhm. Yeah, it does
Yeah.
seem like him. Oh, go ahead, Bridget.
Oh no, I was gonna agree that it's very iconic to the series.
Yeah, it feels like among thinking about our choices too. Not that these are the only choices that are valid. Everybody is going to have their own picks for these, but it does feel like boss fight music or credits music in particular, like those are both areas where like songs can really stand out. Any other thoughts on Kirby music before we move on to the next one?
Oh, a shout out to Kirby Block Ball. It's got a great underrated soundtrack for a
Yeah,
Game
I
Boy game.
agree. I agree.
That is actually one of the Kirby games I've never played before. So
Oh my
I will
gosh.
go into that game thinking about the music now.
Please do.
Mhm.
It's really good.
I had a student mention recently. They were talking. They had this sort of icebreaker thing, and they had to mention a favorite game. And someone mentioned Kirby Battle Royale as one of their favorite games.
Ooh.
They
Whoa.
just said Kirby, and I'm like, oh well, what's your favorite Kirby game? So it's always nice to hear when students like Kirby. But that's
Mhm.
another one that I haven't played yet that we'll have to get to at some point.
Also has great music. But that's a given for Kirby, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Like I just feel like Kirby games in general have really good music. You can't go wrong with it. Like even if sometimes people aren't the biggest fans of a Kirby game, at least it's gonna have great music, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I'm Nic McConnell, and you caught me reading the instruction booklet for Street Fighter II in preparation for my weekly stream Instruction Derby, where I take a look at the creative, fun, and sometimes bizarre lost art of video game manuals. Did you know that, according to the manual for Street Fighter II on the Super Nintendo, Ryu was born in 1964, making him 62 years young, canonically? Happy birthday, Ryu. You're looking great. Did you also know that, per the manual for Laser Invasion on the Nintendo, the UN enters a conclave in order to select a new commando? Or did you know that the dancing enemies in Super Castlevania are named Paula Abgul and Fred Askare? These important facts and many more are discovered every Wednesday at noon Pacific on Instruction Derby over at internet website twitch.tv/Nic McConnell, part of the Soundstone Network.
All right. Well, thanks again, Aurora. Thank you to Sarah and Aurora so far for their questions. Here we have a question that does not have a name associated with it, I don't think. They preferred to stay anonymous with this, unless I am not seeing where it's written. But it says, of the power-ups, I'll assume that means copy abilities. Of the copy abilities included in Kirby Super Star, which is your favorite?
Ooh. Me.
Yeah. Yes, Bridget.
Oh man, I love several powers in this game. But I guess if I have to pick one, I'm gonna go with Ninja. I think it's like a very like touchy power to work with. But I think it has such variety with its moves. And it allows for sort of different reactions in the game and different approaches. I just find it really fun. I also think the sprite's really cute, and it's just really cool. Jet is also great too, and Hammer. And anyway.
In my case, it's hard because this game also has my favorite ability in general, which is Mirror. And I also like Mirror a lot. I have played mostly the remake, but I think it's pretty much the same, I guess. I think Mirror is just really fun to use, even if you like it has a dash attack and everything. I just think it's neat, really. But another ability I also like using is Yo-Yo. I think it's really fun to use the Yo-Yo to really tell something from afar, and just the dash attack, and that one attack you go up. I think it's just really cool, and you also look cool, so I think that's really fun.
Agree.
Yeah, with Kirby Superstar, it feels like this was maybe the Kirby game that said really anything can be an ability now.
Yeah,
it's not just elements, or it's not just a particular kind of like pointy thing. It could be more of a concept, could be a power, or a character type could be a power. And so I also go with Ninja on this one. Ninja's my favorite power from this game. I don't think it's the best power for every situation. I don't think it's as good with the bosses or with certain bosses, but just as a power to go through the level with fighting the regular enemies, I think the mobility options are really fun with it. I love a good teleport, and it's just a cool, stylish ability.
Ninja's my favorite power to run the arena with.
I'm curious how you do that, because I always kind of thought of it as being a little like not the best fit for the bosses, because they're like certain kinds of interactions you can't have with them. But
no, yeah, I think any power that has a contact grab is a great power, because it does so much damage, and Ninja has that. You can also kind of spam kunais and stuff from a distance if you're having trouble. The drop kick is good and lets you bounce back. Giving you some distance. I think it's good.
Okay.
But I also see sometimes when people kind of crash into bosses by dashing into them with the ability, and maybe have a harder time with it. But I think it is possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a matter of I think it's a skill issue with me probably, but also an example of like higher execution leading to better results, but you're not going to get there by just running up and slashing at the enemy, right? And I don't play super blindly or anything. It's not like I just charge and swinging. But I can see how I probably haven't been utilizing all of the tools in the toolkit. I imagine you're like slamming them with their stars and with their projectiles and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I could grab. There's a clip I have that I've shared before where I grab the paintball that the chameleon boss sort of shoots out and bring it up and slam it with him, killing him with it, with Ninja. Anyway, sorry, I'm not trying to be like
No.
get good or anything type of person.
No, I like hearing about these things because it's always nice when you have a tool and you're like, I'm sure this tool can be like used in a different way than I'm using it, and I'm not taking full advantage of that. Like I knew you could grab the projectiles and everything, but I guess I just didn't realize that they were that powerful. So I'll have to play around with that more. Cool. So see, we're all learning things here too, or at least I'm learning things. I will speak for myself. But we're learning here in the show along with maybe our listeners. So thank you all, and thank you again for the question, anonymous person. Moving on, we have a question from Crowy. Thank you, Crowy, and it says, of all the Kirby plushes, which one would you say is your favorite? I guess it specifically says, with all of the Kirby plushes made, which one would you say is your favorite?
Ooh. Go ahead, Gigi. Sorry.
I probably need to think a bit because it's a really hard question for me. You can go ahead if you know.
What about that giant bandana that you just brought back?
Yeah, I was probably thinking like I'm gonna say like in general like Banana plush. I like the big one, but I also like one where he has like a backpack and a camera. I also have that one. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a battle royale one where he's like all happy and he has his parasol instead of a spear. So that one is also cute. But yeah, it's really hard because there are so many Kirby plushies and there are so many cute ones. But yeah, I love the bandana melody ones. That's not surprising, but yeah, I like the big ones well. Oh, I also like one that I got recently, which is one that is also a big one, and it's bandana melody for ramen ball. So it's like it's eating ramen.
Oh,
So
that's
like,
cute.
yeah, I love that one.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, it's a bit rare. I was looking for it a while ago and I found it like online from Japan and I just had to import it. I don't care like how expensive it was. I just needed it. I need the big banana plush with the ramen.
I would refer listeners to one of the Kirby Cafe episodes we did with you a while back where you talked about bringing the giant Waddle Dee back to the airport and on the airplane from Japan.
That was a good one. Yeah, I still have it, but yeah, I just love the banana melody plushes. I need more of them, but like, yeah.
I don't really collect a lot of Kirby plushes. I think they're cute, but I just tend not to be like a big collector of things. And I guess I would just say my favorite is the Megalore plush. He lives in my office on the top of a bookshelf. He's looking down on us right now. I also like the Marks plush. There's probably, I don't know if there's like multiple ones, but sort of the core. I'm not even sure who makes it. That's a terrible answer for a show where we're supposed to be speaking with some degree of authority on this. But I think it's Little Buddy, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure who made it, but there's a Marks plush I have and a Megalore plush that I both really like. But I'll say the Megalore one.
Ooh, I have those. I have the Megalore and the Marks, and I have the Marks. Anyway, I would say that my favorite plush is the one that I bought myself for my birthday. Maybe like just a few years back, but I bought it. It was the 25th anniversary plush that they put out. It looks like the box art of the Kirby Super Star package. Like they put out like a Kirby that looks like the really old school plushes, and then they also put out one that looks like the face of the Kirby Superstar Kirby. Like it has one of the retro face ones, and this one was released for the 25th anniversary. It was the Kirby Superstar plush, and I believe it also came with a pouch that had like the box art as well for the game. The other one for Dreamland looks amazing as well, but that one was even more expensive. So as a treat, I just bought the Superstar one, which was the one I wanted anyway. So I was very excited. I love it. It looks so cute. I put a little hat on him. And he's sort of my special personal gift. So that one's sentimental.
Nice. All right. Any other plushes that people wanted to raise up?
Oh, I forgot the name of the line of plushes, but there's a line of plushes where they have beady little eyes, and they put one out of Marks, of Magalore, of Kirby, and a couple of the enemies, and they're really cute. I have the Marks one.
Nice. Yeah, there's so many Kirby plushes out there, right? Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like that's just such a rabbit hole to go down if I ever really decided to start collecting or anything like that. Like, I don't really know where I would like put them all. Like, I think they're cute and I enjoy them kind of vicariously through other people, but I don't really know where I would put a bunch of Kirby plushes around my apartment necessarily if I were to start accumulating a bunch of them. But I definitely still enjoy them. I just enjoy more the idea of them than collecting them always myself. But thank you for your question, Crowy. Always nice to talk about the plushes on the show. And then this is going to be a tricky one. So this is from Sean. Their name spelled the same way I spelled my first name. So thank you for your question, Sean. I'm sorry it's taken us a little time to get to this question, but he asks, are you excited for Kirby Air Riders? And I'm sorry to say, no, we're not. Not at all. I don't know why we would be talking about that game on the show.
I love Kirby Air Riders. I was excited before the release. I was excited leading up to the release. I was excited during the release. It's been out for a while now, and I'm still excited.
Yeah, I'll always be excited for Kirby Air Riders. Just the idea that it's out there. Just the idea that it even happened at all.
Exactly. It's like a miracle game, and it's I feel like with everything that's horrible in the world, I got this bright light. This flickering little beautiful little bright light in all this. It's great. I love it. I've got a bunch of hours in it already. I'm too embarrassed to say. And I love it. I still enjoy it. It's great.
Same. I haven't been playing a lot because I feel like lately I mostly come for the events, like to get the points, and then sometimes I play a little, but sometimes I need to play more with my amiibo. I got them not long ago, but I haven't really done much with the figure players. But it's really cute that you can do like with Smash and like train them. I think it's really nice. I want to do like a city trial with them, like as my team against like other CPUs. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, if you had told me at like this time last year, like, yeah, they're making another Kirby Air Ride game. I forget exactly when it was announced. It was kind of during like that, like what used to be E3 period, right?
Yeah.
But if you had told me there's a new Kirby Air Ride coming out last year, I would have been very surprised to hear that. But I guess it just shows the radical possibility of things and reality. But yes, definitely excited. Always, both before, currently, whenever. Always excited about Kirby Air Riders.
Yeah. I might have mentioned this already, but like when the game was announced, I was watching the Nintendo Direct with my friends, and I pretty much fell out of my seat. Not intentionally. I'm not like a YouTuber overreactor on the usual side of things, but like it was that surprising. I did kind of fall off of the couch, and my friends were laughing, and they're like, "We should have recorded you because you were like so hyped."
It was a very hype moment.
Yeah.
I tend to be a pretty calm person, and I sometimes feel like that works against me as a podcaster because, like, I know really enthusiastic people are just sometimes more entertaining personalities to like follow or listen to about things. But I guess I experienced my version of whatever falling off the couch would be. It was like, oh, this is really cool. I'm glad this is happening.
Yeah.
I guess inside I was falling off the couch.
Spiritually.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, my name's Darren Hupke. I'm a writer, publisher, and podcaster. My podcast is called Pixels and Polygons. Each week I sit down with a guest and ask one simple video game question. It's a random topic each week and it leads to a fun conversation. You can find it on your favorite podcast platform every Friday, and you can read more about it at pixelsandpolygons.net.
So thank you, Sean, for that question. And then we have a question from Juan Torres, who says, Shiver Star, ? In Forgotten Land, where Kirby gets transported into a world similar to Earth, is that really Shiver Star that thawed out? So Shiver Star in Kirby 64, if you look at it carefully through the clouds, it does look like Earth. It seems to have continents that resemble our continents. And what does that mean? Is there a connection between Shiver Star and the world of Forgotten Land? I don't know. Any theories? I've looked into this a little bit to respond, but wondering if either of you have any theories or things you have heard or seen about that.
I don't know I don't know if there's a connection, but there's like a thematic connection, right? There's sort of like it sort of situates Kirby in a kind of post-apocalyptic sort of time frame. There you go.
Yeah. I know some theories that is the same, but also like Shiver Star is frozen, so if the Forgotten Land is Shiver Star, you kind of probably go back in time and then it's complicated, maybe. I don't know. Because they never really like specified about Shiver Star. Like I sometimes wonder, like I'm not trying to like make it less interesting, but I sometimes wonder if maybe just one dev one day was like, yeah, maybe we can put Earth in Shiver Star, like it wouldn't be funny, and then so many theories about it. Like I just think it's funny to think about. But honestly, for me, I think like my personal theory, because there's no answer, I would consider them different words, mostly because we don't see exactly like the Forgotten Land, the new world, like from like as a planet. We don't know like what it looks like from the outside. Like we know Shiver Star looks like Earth, but we don't know if the new world looks like Earth. And I don't know exactly what to make of it. I'm not a big fan of like theorizing if humans exist in the Kirby world. I know we have Adeline, but like we don't know where she's from, and there are a couple of theories as well. Maybe she's from Shiver Star, and I think it's fun to make theories. It's just not something I personally am interested in, and I just personally think Shiver Star and the Forgotten Land are different things. Personally,
Yeah, I like when Kirby's world is just weird and kind of unexplained, and like it's sort of interesting to sort of it's the question is almost more interesting than the answer, perhaps. It's like, wait, there's this like girl who likes to paint. Wait, is she a human? I'm not really sure. Or does she just kind of resemble a human, right? Like Rick is always described as being hamster-like or resembling a hamster or whatever, right? But they never outright want to say that he's a hamster because I don't know, maybe there aren't hamsters in Kirby's world, but there are creatures that look a lot like them. So I don't know. Does that mean that the fish aren't really fish? They're just creatures that look like fish? I don't know. Is his whole world just a weird simulacrum of our world? So we could get very deep with this, I suppose, and ask a lot of profound questions. But I think this is something where, yeah, the questions I think that they inspire are maybe more kind of fun on their own rather than getting any sort of answer. Because I don't think that they're necessarily intended to have a kind of answer. It's just someone's creative ideas, and everything doesn't have to all be integrated perfectly necessarily. And I don't think that's necessarily what Juan is asking. I think this was more just kind of for fun, right? But just reflecting on the nature of creativity and having all these different people adding things to the series over time. Like, I think it's okay if not everything adds up, if there's not a perfect continuity to everything, if there's not an explanation for everything. His world is just kind of fun and like is what it is. So I would say that, yeah, I don't know that there's any indication that the Forgotten Land looks or is really Earth-like at all. Like it has buildings and amusement parks and stuff like that, but I guess that doesn't necessarily mean it's Earth. I don't know, there could be, even in our own reality, there could be planets that have buildings and shopping malls and stuff like that just aren't in our solar system. And it doesn't seem like Shiver Star is in our solar system, unless there are just major things that we have not discovered in our solar system. And Ripple Star is out there just evading our top astronomers. But I think it's just kind of there for fun. But if someone wants a really conclusive lore answer, looking through Kirby lore, looking on WikiKirby, looking at what people know, no definitive answer was ever given about why Shiver Star looks like Earth. I think it's just kind of for fun.
Yeah. Also, it's like if you try to get into thinking about the Kirby universe or whatever, there's also references to the Kirby star system and in the Star Fox animated like a bit of anime that they did a while back. Nintendo did for I think around the Wii U. There's also Samus is in Dreamland 3 with the Metroids.
That's true, yeah.
So then it's like, is he part of the Star Fox universe? Is he part of the Metro? Are these games all in the same universe? Or then it gets sort of cuckoo bananas, like all the ideas you can have.
Yeah.
That's fun to think about, but yeah.
Yeah, and some of those characters also make cameos in Donkey Kong Country 2, like Samus is in Donkey Kong Country 2. So does that mean that is somehow by the transitive property also taking place in Samus's world, which is taking place also within Kirby's world?
And Mario.
Yeah, because Mario's also in Donkey Kong Country 2 as well, making a cameo. So now it's like...
And then Superstar.
Yeah.
Audience.
Oh yeah, in the audience, yeah. It's all, it goes so deep. It's just turtles all the way down. It's just,
that meme where it's like the Always Sunny guy in front of like a conspiracy board or whatever. Yeah. It's gonna be me with all my like Kirby stuff.
Yeah. Gradually this podcast descends into just us forming these raving conspiracies.
Be fun.
Yeah, well, thank you, Juan, for that question. I hope that answer satisfied you.
Yeah, we don't know, but it's interesting, and you could think that. I think that's the fun of it.
I do kind of like the idea of a Mailbag episode where all the answers are just, we don't know. They're just all lore questions, and we're just saying we don't know the entire time.
Yeah.
And then one last question that might have some more definitive answers to it. This is from Jarrett, who was wearing an excellent Luigi's Mansion cosplay of Luigi with the poltergust that he had made. So that was, I definitely remember the person that submitted this question. So very cool costume, Jarrett. And thank you for your question as well, which is, what are your favorite color variations of Kirby?
Gigi?
I need to think about this one.
All right. I have one that I really like, and it's kind of a weird color because it's I don't know if it's like everyone's top color, but I actually really like the brown Kirby in the original Air Ride because I like to think he's like a little chocolate whooper or whopper. I think they're like whoppers.
Whopper, like the malted milk balls.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. Yeah.
Unknown to fans, Kirby is just filled with candy on the inside.
I mean, it probably is. I love that color. I like to think of that one as chocolate Kirby. I love there's like a lilac type of color Kirby that I believe exists in the flagship games.
Yeah.
As a color option, and I love purple. So I love that color. It's also similar, I guess, maybe. I also like, I guess, the Marks ball, the Marks color that you get in Dream Buffet when you unlock like other Kirby color options. So I think that color is very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like I mostly use the colors in like Squeak Sweat and Amazing Mirror. I really like the blues and the purples mostly. I remember using the grape one in Squeak Squad a lot. But I also like the citrus one, and I also really like the carbon, which is like like dark gray with orange. It's really nice looking. I really like the colors. They're like they have like the body and the feet with different colors, not like the same shade, just darker. I think it's really nice that Dream Buffet also had some colors like that. It's really cool, like to combine the colors and not just like, oh, red Kirby, which is just red, or green Kirby, which is just green. I like when it's two different colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on With Kirby now, looking at all the colors in Dream Buffet, and I do like how specific they get. It's like someone's like redesigning their kitchen or something, and they're going through the swatches, and they're like, "Do we want it in Kiwi yellow, or do we want it in driving sky?"
Ooh.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch. Tea green, Elfilin peacock.
Yeah, that's
I would do a
one.
room in Elfilin peacock, maybe. I don't know.
I love that color, like a teal.
I think in Dream Buffet, I do like the purples. But one that like first came to mind when I was thinking of this is that I really like the black variant of Kirby from Smash Brothers that almost looks kind of like Meta Knight.
Oh yeah, I always like to think that that is Meta Knight without the mask, even though it's like just a Kirby color option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Just
it does give us
idea.
sort of the closest sense we have of what he might look like.
Like a young Meta Knight.
But I like the white Kirby as well, like black and white Kirby, whether predominantly white or predominantly black. Like I like those colors too.
Same.
Cool. Well, thank you, Jarrett, for your question on Kirby colors. And I think that'll wrap it up for today's Mailbag episode. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. Any other last remarks or any other answers you wanted to share for anything, Bridget or Gigi?
I'm good.
I also really love Marks as far as bosses are concerned, but I just really like him because he's very expressive. And I like the kind of iconography around him, this kind of duality. But I love so many bosses. I don't know. Shout out to Nova. Shout out to Magalur, of course. All the recent bosses. I love all the bosses. I even like when DDD gets in a robot. It's fun.
Yep. I really liked what you said about, on a previous show, you were talking about Marx's duality, I think, too. It was either that I read that, either you said it on the show or I read it on Blue Sky or something. I think it was on the show. But thinking about like your own identity and dualities you feel about yourself and relating to like the duality within Marx in the same way. And I thought that was a really interesting and insightful dimension to the character that I hadn't thought about before. So I think about that now too when I look at Marx. And I don't know that I have the same sort of sense of duality within myself, but I do think about that theme associated with the character now. So I thought that was really perceptive of you.
Yeah, I just I don't know, sometimes I attach to characters that maybe have more limited screen time, but I feel like there's a lot you can say with a character just through design, and I feel like Marx is kind of one of those characters.
Yeah, I really loved that analysis of the character. Cool. Well, we got to the bottom of the stack of questions I had, so I guess we'll wrap it up there. But for people that submitted questions that we didn't get to, I will do, like I said, a sort of collective response in the show notes to summarizing some things about Kirby that covers various questions people had about Kirby that didn't seem like they as much worked as like discussion topics, but could work as kind of like trivia questions or more sort of general descriptions of who Kirby is. Some people just had general questions about who Kirby was, and I thought that maybe the show notes would be a better place to include that. You can also always check out Sakurai's YouTube channel. He has some really good videos about why he made certain decisions about the character and why the character is how he is and who the character is. To some degree, a lot of things about Kirby are mysterious, but if you have questions about Kirby's, some of the design decisions around why Kirby is the way he is, I would recommend checking out just the answer straight from the guy that created the character. So thank you all for listening. This has been Kirby Conversations. I'm Sean Douglas. I'm here with Bridget and Gigi. We are the hosts and producers of the show, and we are a proud part of the Soundstone Podcast Network, podcast network about video game history. We're part of Soundstone along with Flashback 64, Pixels and Polygons, and Instruction Derby. We invite you to check out those shows as well. If you have any questions that you would like to submit to our show, feel free to reach out to us at mail@kirbyconversations.com. You can also find us most active on social media on Blue Sky, but we do some things with Instagram, occasionally post on Threads as well, and we're starting to post more on YouTube too. So we hope you'll check out our content on whatever platform works best for you. Our theme music is by Megan Kells in a new arrangement by Duncan Pixel T. Smith. And we will be back again soon with more Kirby Conversations. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Listen to Flashback 64, the chronological Nintendo 64 podcast. Hosts Gooey, McKenna, and friends flashback to the 90s and early 2000s with a look at the Nintendo 64's catalog and its contemporary cultural and historical context. Starting with the console's launch titles and proceeding in release order, we discuss classics like GoldenEye, Super Mario 64, and Star Fox 64, as well as some not-so-beloved games, lesser-known titles, and everything in between. Along with game-specific deep dives, we also cover other bits of pop culture from the time, like films, music, and more. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.